Genius for life. Coconut smoothies coming at you. Hello, hello. Welcome to 15 Minutes of Genius. This is episode 128. I'm going to move to the center here. Here we go. I'm magically floating from left to right. So this is a really great show, just about bringing on awesome entrepreneurs, legends in the space, and also outside of the space. So we're going CPG, food and beverage. Also outside of that, we go all over the place now. We got some great guests that are coming up, in February and March and April that are inspirational speakers, authors. So it's really awesome that we're really expanding the format of the show. Wanted to give a big plug to Mark Nicholas, Mark N at ManhattanBeachStudios.net. There he is. He's the man. He's the guy. I came into the studio pretty tired today. It's just been a really long week, and he uplifted me, that and an energy drink. I'm just kidding. All right, so let's get to it. This is pretty awesome because this is a premier juice bar that is literally all over the country. They're a household name, and it's always awesome to bring entrepreneurs on that have created great brands like this. So Alexis Schulze, she is the co-founder of Nekter Juice Bar, which if you're living anywhere metro, anywhere in the city, across the country, you'll see it. And she's also the co-founder of Sojourn Foundation. A little bit about Nekter Juice Bar. I'm doing all this on the fly I'm addicted to LinkedIn here. So Nekter, as the pioneer of the modern juice bar experience and the champion of menu transparency and ingredient integrity, Nekter Juice Bar was founded in 2010 to nourish America's increasing appetite for plant-based, healthy food options that support various lifestyles and diet preferences. With a steady eye on innovation, Nekter offers a delicious menu of freshly made, clean and nutrient-rich juices, superfood smoothies, acai bowls with acai plus, and a variety of healthy snacks. All right, Alexis, how are you?
I am great. Thank you so much for having me. I had a little venue change really fast.
It was smooth. Yeah, literally, like we were talking, it's very casual on this show, so we were talking pre-taping. You were in one spot. During the intro, you moved to a totally different spot. So impressive.
Juice just makes you flow,
Awesome. So
superpowers.
Totally. And I'm a big believer in, we were talking also before about, we won't mention them by name, but let's just call them Jamba Juice. And I used to go there for many years back in high school, and I realized there's a lot of sugar in this, and this is really not as healthy as they market it to be. And so challenger juice bars started coming in, such as Nekter, to take that market of people that just demanded better quality. So anyway, this is not, I shouldn't be talking so much. So let's get into the story. How did you create this brand? When did you come to that epiphany to launch a juice bar chain? Tell us more.
I was kind of flipping around a little bit, yoga teacher training for my own personal benefit. And we would go get a juice afterwards at, kind of like a hole in the wall little market. And it was awful, but I knew it was good for me. So I kept trying to drink it. And then eventually I was working with a guy. I was like, can we just add a little extra apple and maybe like make it colder? I forget. I think I even brought one home, put it in the fridge and drank it later and was like, wow, this is actually better cold. And so as I got addicted to how great I felt with juicing, it was just kind of one of those aha moment, and I said to my husband at the time was like, this should be more mainstream. More people should know about this. Because I grew up eating a lot of vegetables. You go through those college years and vegetables aren't your favorite thing. You're not eating as healthy as you could. You're busy, you're on the go. And just being able to get a juice, my energy, my hair, my skin. It was just like, I was kind of obsessed and kind of like that annoying person trying to make everyone drink juices. So I told my husband, like, we could do this. Let's bring this mainstream. There's something here. And he was on board, and he was into acai bowls at the time and kind of had me, work some recipes. So we played around a lot with just like how to make it healthy, how to like stay with. I was really into and started researching a lot about whole foods, raw foods, and just the benefits of all the fresh enzymes. And so the idea was just to kind of keep it with a lot of integrity, but still make it taste good, because we all know if it tastes like swamp water, as great as it is for you, you're not going to drink it. So that's really the impetus for, where it all came from. And it was, we had no idea what we were doing.
And that's usually when you start a business, you kind of learn on, you learn on the fly. I call it like you learn what, you're building the plane as you're flying it, right? So what were some of the early, and we've all been there, as an entrepreneur, and a lot of entrepreneurs watch the show on LinkedIn. And so what were the early challenges to building Nekter? Like, what did you face in the first few years? Was it money? Was it scalability, getting new locations? What were some big challenges
Can I
that
check
you faced?
all of the above? The very first one we funded ourselves. We took like kind of a pre-existing thing. And then, as you start seeking a little bit of support, you don't really need to bring in a ton of money, but, juice bars there's no collateral. So the banks were kind of like, well, what do you have to offer us? So, we put our house up, and ultimately we brought on a little bit of money. And so that was partnerships, and kind of our partnerships, a few stores through the partnership program. And then we brought in, some private investors. Our biggest challenge, though, I have to say is and I think it's probably everyone's in this space, is that bringing in the right people at the right time. We brought in some people who we thought, they know more than us, and totally killed our culture. We had amazing people in the beginning that had a ton of passion, and we got really far with their drive. I mean, I think the coolest thing was watching kids come in and kind of feel the same thing I felt, like, wow, I feel really good. Teenagers were like, my skin cleared up because I was drinking my free juice my shift juice every day. And I feel amazing, and I think a lot of it, we moved a lot further with the passion we had, but everyone will tell you, like, bringing in employees, having people show up for shifts. I mean, especially right now, I think it's even harder.
Yep.
But those are the challenges, figuring out, there'd be days where we'd order, coconut water, and they wouldn't have it on the shipment. So I was running around trying to, find coconut water, and I'm laughing going, wait, I can buy it cheaper at the grocery store than my delivery guys, and
Right.
There's so many of those things in the beginning. And then as we've grown, we have more buying power. We have more, I used to have to go buy all the snacks and try them and try to figure out what snacks I wanted to put on the shelves. And now people ship us snacks left and right. And, as you grow, all that changes, but then other things change, then you have bigger problems or different problems. I think there's always just, we'll call them learnings, no matter where you are in your phase of business. But that's kind of the challenge, there's the challenge, and then there's so much reward, I think, on so many levels.
Yeah. And then, your business, right? It's been in the market for 12 years, right? And I remember in the South Bay, right, of Los Angeles, locations opening there, locations opening on the West Side. So where is the business now? Tell us just high level, how many locations, which cities have been the most successful for Nekter? Love to learn more about your footprint in the U.S.
Yeah. We've started franchising early on, and then took a little step back, went back into franchising. We are now across the United States. I don't even know. I'm trying to think of how many actual states we're in. It's changing so quick. I need all my data in front of me. But I want to say, we're probably in 30 to 40 states now. That was kind of one of the things we tried to expand a little bit ourselves, and then realized that people who live where they, to create that community juice bar experience, people who live where they are do it better than we do. So that was kind of a lot of the part of why we chose to franchise. Just let people, what I did in the original one by walking around and talking to the neighbors and being a part of the communities where we are. But Southern California is our largest market. But Southern California, there's lots of competition now. Everybody kind of saw what we did, and
Yep.
has
Yep.
come up with, there's bull bars and all kinds of other stuff that's popped up since. And then kind of the follow suit, like Arizona, we have quite a bit in Texas and Florida. Those are our largest markets. And ironically, we do really well, Inland Empire, California, and then some of these juice bars in the middle of nowhere where you're like, wow, this is amazing. They're so involved in the community. They kill it because they're the only one. Now 11 years later, some of these places didn't have any juice bars at all before.
Yep. And
it's cool because a lot of our. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say that one of the great qualities about Nekter is that it's affordable as well. Because there's, like you said, there's the hole in the wall ones that you find like in Echo Park that are like $10 or $12 for a superfood smoothie, and you were able to get the cost down enough based on scale and make something healthy also really, really accessible. So that's what's really great. So I can imagine a Nekter might not be in the greatest area, right? You can open one in an area that's not upper middle, could be middle lower, and people will still go there and they can get a smoothie for $5 or $6. So it's affordable.
Yeah, and I think that was the biggest piece. It's like, making it affordable, but also making, the menu, I wanted it small, but also enough variety where, I could get my greenie, which is like a very green juice, but then there's also like kid-friendly ones and ones where people would come in the beginning and be like, I've never done this before, and we can kind of ease people into the idea of eating healthier, or getting, juices or smoothies in them that are real food at least, and it's like, what an amazing ability to, affect people in a way like that, where they're choosing to eat real food as opposed to the alternatives,
Exactly. I think the best ideas are the ones where convenience and affordability and healthy, like they all kind of come crashing together. And that's like a magical formula, which is really hard to get to, and it takes years and years. So how many locations are there now? Just for our viewers to know.
I think we're just under 180 something, somewhere around there, just around 180 something, we'll say.
Nice. And like you said,
I
concentrated.
need to do my homework before these podcasts.
Well, all good. We're not holding you to exact numbers. Like if it's 181 or 179, you're not going to get angry messages on LinkedIn or whatever. So we're all laid back here. We're all laid back. You never know. Never know who's watching. A lot of trolls out there. So let's go into where you are now, right? You've been running this for 12 years. You're a co-founder. You have a team. You have private investors that came in. You franchised it, right? What is next? Are you going to keep running it? Do you eventually want to sell your share to someone else? Like, what are your thoughts long term with Nekter?
I think we're kind of looking at, are we the best people to take this to the next level? From day one, I said, let's be the Starbucks of juice. So it's kind of like we're having conversations about, are we the people that can do that? Is there partnerships we can have that maybe would help us do that? I think there's always a love for Nekter. It's my baby. I birthed it, so I think I'll always want to be involved in some aspect. But I think, we're just like, I've got my baby through high school. So now what's next kind of phase. So I don't know, but I would still like us to be that Starbucks where, you can always grab a juice on any corner in any city, it'd be pretty amazing.
Yeah. And it's possible. With distribution now and there's also a demand for this. That's what I think is important, is like you can put this in, I would think, in certain areas, Michigan, Wisconsin, Midwest. Doesn't have to be in these high profile states, and people are wanting delicious and healthy smoothies, people like me, and juices. So the trend is here. And what's cool is like you came on the scene right before cold pressed juice really became huge. So it was really good timing. What are the top Like, again, not to test you on data, but I'm curious, like the best stores in the country, is it SoCal at this point?
You, our best, I think, are usually, we have an incredible franchise partner out in like Riverside, Inland Empire.
Mm-hmm.
They do such a phenomenal job. Texas, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, I think all our main areas are, yeah, Texas has an incredible partner. And Florida, I think they're doing really well too. But yeah, Arizona does well too. Those are,
Depends.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's,
Yeah.
it fluctuates. I'll be like, oh, they're our top store this month, or what, it's interesting. But
So weather has a big proponent of that. We see our smoothie business with Genius Juice, where crushing it in like the summertime. Spring is great in New York. Summer is hard in New York because it's so hot and people just leave the city to go to the Hamptons. So
yeah,
every area has their own kind of intricacies.
idiosyncrasies, right?
Yeah, idiosyncrasies. That was the word, not intricacies, idiosyncrasies. The other incracy or whatever. Okay, anyway, it's becoming on my side 15 minutes of not genius. All right, so let's get into at least about you and about some other things you're doing, and then we can go into our next segment. But your foundation, I really wanted to touch on that because I think it's really powerful. Stories bind us, and like when people know about your background and what you love to do outside of Nekter. So tell us about the Sojourn Foundation, and also maybe how our viewers can get involved.
So Sojourn was kind of one of these, I was doing a little soul searching, met a friend through, Spin Studio. And, I always say it's like the things we do and the moments, the random moments that we say yes to things are always so important. But I met this girl just randomly, start talking about her favorite workout pants or whatever it was. And just little by little got to know her, and she was going to a trip to Africa, and I had donated and said, oh my gosh, this is so on my heart. Please let me know next time you guys go. And this was January. And she texted me back and said, you know what? I just think you need to be on this trip. But so it was just a, rare. And I was like, okay, if I can get a flight in the next month, or, get a flight now for the next month, I will do it. So he said yes, went, and, we're at the base of Mount Kilimanjaro in this village in Africa. And, everyone always, it's this cliche of, it's life-changing, these moments. But it really was. It was just, I came back, made a lot of changes in my personal life. And so sort of like the impetus for Nekter, it was just like more people should have access to these types of moments, So I just kind of was like, let's start Sojourn and do this. So we partner with a school and an orphanage in each location. So we've maintained the contacts in Tanzania. We are also in La Fortuna, Costa Rica, and Belize, Belmopan, Belize. And so those relationships, people are fundraising prior, they come on a trip, they get to actually see what we've done and interact with the kids. And it's profound. I mean, these kids are grateful and loving, and they've had just, especially in the orphanages, just these horrendous beginnings. Some of the stories will make you cry, but to be able to have a small impact and be able to be there and just in the smallest ways, we change their lives, but really more than ever, we come back changed, and everyone that's been on our trips, we've only done a couple, just starting out, but it's a cool opportunity to really, to see what you do. Everyone can write a check, but to really like go and be, and it's yeah. I go on and on about it.
Total. I mean, yeah, you're incredibly passionate about it. I can tell. And it's powerful. And, one thing that it's crazy, right? As we're here, right? You're in Newport. I'm in Manhattan Beach, right? I don't live in Manhattan Beach, but we have really privileged lifestyles. I mean, we work hard, right? But like, we're really lucky. We have, it's cliche, we have running water, we have a roof over our head, we have law enforcement so that, the streets are reasonably safe. And whenever we need food, we can eat it. Whenever we need to drink water, we can drink it. And so many parts. I mean, I remember learning in a college course that there's maybe about a billion people, give or take. It may not be accurate anymore, but under a billion or just over a billion that have these things. But then there's like 4.5 or 5 billion people that do not have these things, these basic needs and necessities in life. That is, it's insane. It's hard to even fathom how many human beings do not have basic things in their life for survival. And so giving back is, like, I believe in that too, right? If hopefully one day I become rich, right? And I have enough money, and it's not just to put it in a bank account or invest and turn it into from 20 million to 23 million. It's to share that wealth and to help the people that are less fortunate. Like that, like why would I need all that money, right? Maybe $1 million I keep for myself, but you want to help people out. That's what this world is all about, is about helping others and sharing that love. So I'm glad that you're on that same pathway as,
Absolutely.
You're giving back.
I think, I think anyone, can collect money, but I think we've all seen, it's like, it can be to the point where it's never enough. And I think that experiences, I love to travel and hike and, experience the world. And part of that is, can I give back while doing that? I am so fortunate to be able to do all that. So, it's important, I think, for your soul.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we're all in this together. No one is an island, right? Unless you're Tom Hanks in Castaway. We're in this together. We're near other human beings. There's so many people out there that can't even afford to eat, to even live. They're going to suffer from hunger. So it's really just ending suffering, for the human race. That's what giving back is all about. Like, they can have a life where they can enjoy life, right? Because life, not to get too philosophical, but life should be enjoyed. Like, there's a beautiful earth. We got nature. We got each other. There's love. There's marriages. There's children. There's a lot of beautiful things in life. And when people cannot experience that really bothers me. It really does.
Yeah.
So
it's hard.
Yeah. All right. Well,
so much to do, right?
So much to do. And, but if enough people band together with enough money and want to make change, it is possible. But then there's higher powers, like there's a lot of political stuff going on that prevent making true change. That's in the favor of not profit, but in the favor of people and our society. Have you seen the movie Don't Look Up with Leonardo DiCaprio?
I have been meaning to. I watched the thing and I was like, okay, this is definitely one I need to watch. I've heard it's definitely pertains to a lot of what's going on right now, just the division and all that. It's on my list.
Yeah, it's a great movie for anyone out there. It's on Netflix. Don't Look Up. I watched it over the holiday. Didn't know what it was about going into it. But it's just about, divisiveness, but also human beings wanting to profit off of things versus looking out for what's most important, right? Which is our health and well-being. So it really sums up what's happening in society. Yeah, it's very, and it's entertaining. Like, Leonardo DiCaprio plays not the cool, sexy hero guy. He's like this guy that's a total nerd, that's awkward. He has glasses, and it's really, really funny. It's a great movie.
I heard he's promoting dad bod still.
What is it?
In the movie.
Oh, what is dad bog?
Dad bod. Yeah, like the dad
Oh, dad
body,
bod. Oh, okay.
I've had a couple of my guy friends who are like, this is great. I feel very on
relatable
trend right now because Leonardo looks like me.
Exactly. It's like you almost think it's not him. He has the gut, he has kind of the scruffy face, and he totally plays that to perfection.
We should send him some juice, right?
Seriously. I've actually gotten Leonardo DiCaprio to have Genius Juice before. One of my friends works on set with a company called Healing Hollywood. So they bring better food for the actors. And instead of just craft foods, which is usually not great, They're bringing organic product for movie stars on set to have. And she has a picture of Leo. I can't, it's not like it shows him drinking it, but it shows him looking at it and reaching for it. And I'm just like, damn it, we should have got him drinking it. All right, so next segment here, this is called, Mark, cue it, Rapid Fire Questions. Rapid Fire Questions. All right, so just going to ask you a bunch of questions. There's, I think, about 12 or 15 of them. And just first thing that comes to your mind, you answer. That's it.
Okay.
All right. Did you know this was coming or no?
No.
Don't worry. Questions aren't that bad. All right. Or are they? Okay. So question number 1. For music, which decade is the best? The 70s, 80s, or 90s?
80s.
All the way. What do you do for exercise? I think I already heard, but...
Yoga and high intensity training and hiking.
Movie you can watch an unlimited amount of times.
The Notebook.
Ryan Gosling. Chocolate.
I just love it.
Yeah, it's I can say my wife like references it like every other week. When it's raining, she's like, "Oh, we can do like in the Notebook, we can kiss in the rain." I'm like, okay,
it's a girl thing. I know.
Girl thing.
I have others that are probably cooler, but I'm being honest here. So
it's a classic. Yeah, it's a classic. So chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Favorite country to travel to?
Ooh, that's the hardest one. I hate picking. Probably Italy.
That's what I was going to guess.
No, I take that back. Mexico. It's Mexico.
It's right there. It's close. So favorite Star Wars character?
Oh, of course, Princess Leia.
That's the first time anyone has said Princess Leia on the show.
Really?
We've done this like 50 times or 60 times. Usually it's like Yoda or Luke Skywalker. One person said Chewbacca last week. I'm like, okay.
That's funny. Well, I like the strong female character, right? It's like, got to go with that.
She's strong. She was strong. Yeah. All right. What is your spirit animal?
Ooh, a bird. I think like an owl. Nice.
Because you're up at night working, right? We all are entrepreneurs. All right.
Well, it's the wise. And I don't know. I love watching the birds, honestly. The ones just like kind of hovering up above. And I'm like, just peaceful. Maybe that's the introvert in me wants to just get away.
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. Do you like to drive an SUV, a coupe, or a truck?
SUV.
For food, salty or sweet?
Salty, all the way.
Favorite day of the week and why?
I mean, Saturday, I guess.
Yep.
Why?
You sound very excited about that. You're like, Saturday, I guess.
Well, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, there's different reasons for different days. I mean, Saturday, it's the day everybody's off, and you still have another day of the weekend.
Yep, exactly. I'm right there with you.
All the days, honestly, as an entrepreneur, all the days they merge.
They merge. Yeah. The one, you get like 2 Saturdays off per year, right? You get like whatever's right around Christmas and whatever is around Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
All right. So, that's the hustle it takes to grow a product and a brand like yours. So, Uber or Lyft?
I mean, whichever one can get there quicker.
That's a great answer. LeBron, you're rideshare agnostic, as they say.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
LeBron James, Michael Jordan, or Kobe Bryant?
Oh, well, I mean, I got to say Kobe.
Yeah.
Kobe, all his inspiring words and, obviously that's pretty, his death was pretty traumatic for a lot of us, but I think, yeah.
Mm. And then for movie, this is one movie. Which one's better, Terminator 1 or Terminator 2? You look like someone that loves action movies and Terminator. You know, I can tell.
Yeah. I've watched those so many times. I mean, number one, just because I always think the first one is always so much more poignant, right? It leaves its mark more so than the others, but.
Exactly. I love in the beginning when he's in Griffith Park. You know, he's like walking naked. He's like, a nice day, a nice night for a walk. And then he like kills the guy.
Yeah. With his solid butt cheeks. Can I say that?
You can actually, I mean, this is like, there is no boundaries on this podcast. You can actually see his front. Like when he's walking in the very beginning.
Oh,
It's kind of in
I'll have
shadow.
to rewatch it and zoom.
Me too.
Now that we can zoom things.
Exactly. We have Blu-ray, like ultra high quality, you know. Anyway, I'm glad I didn't bring up this subject to Patrick Schwarzenegger when I had him on the show. Would have been a little awkward. All right. And actually, he said, do you know what movie he said? Which one he liked better?
Which one?
Terminator 2. He's like, Terminator 2.
Really?
Yep. Because I think with Terminator 2, he was alive as well.
Yeah.
He was alive for that one, I believe. Yeah, because he's 30 now.
They had more.
So like, he remembers his dad going to film and all that. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool then. Yeah. That's more meaningful for him.
Yeah. All right, last question. Favorite food or drink if you're stuck on a deserted island? You cannot say Genius Juice and you cannot say anything on the Nekter menu.
Favorite food or drink if I'm stuck on a deserted island? I mean, obviously there's coconuts plentiful, right? I mean,
speaking my
I
language.
would probably be drinking a lot of coconuts.
Love it. All right, well, that is rapid fire questions. Great way to end it with coconuts.
Thank you.
Alexis Schulze, co-founder of Nekter Juice Bar, and amazing story, amazing what you've done, and so much respect for the company you've built. So yeah, thank you for being on, and appreciate you taking the time, in the evening. And good luck, take good care, and have a wonderful night.
Thank you.
All
Thanks
righty.
so much for having me.
You got it. Yeah, thanks for being on. So that is episode 128 of 15 Minutes of Genius. Go to Nekter Juice Bar. It's an awesome juice bar. They're like one of the originals. Make sure to get a smoothie, get an acai bowl, get a dragon fruit bowl, Pitaya Plus plug right there. Chuck Asano, he actually was on our show. I forgot to mention that. And they have his product on their menu, the Pitaya Plus. Pretty cool, right? Everything comes full circle here on 15 Minutes of Genius. Big plug to Mark Nicholas, Mark Anna, ManhattanBeatStudios.net. He's in a van, if you didn't notice. Hey, Mark, can you go back to your video? He's in a van right now. He's in a van. You can see the doors in the back. He's operating everything for this show. He's operating the entire studio from a van. All the controls, audio, video, lighting. He doesn't even have to, he could be at home. He can run a wire that's 5 miles to his home, and he doesn't even have to come to the studio anymore. So it's pretty cool what he's up to. So if you ever want to do a podcast, if you want to do taping, he does social media videos, creatives. He's really getting into a lot of cool stuff. Make sure to reach out to him, Mark and ManhattanBeatStudios.net. So that about does it for 15 Minutes of Genius. And one last thing, stay genius, my friends. Genius for life. Coconut smoothies coming at you.